What's up guys, Galaxy King here, and in today's video I've got my updated Galaxy Eyes deck profile. This deck took a massive hit from losing Union Carrier on the last ban list. Just like loads of other decks, losing Union Carrier was a massive drawback. So I've had to add in other cards and work around with the deck to try and make up for that consistency. And with the new release of Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon, this deck has another option for using Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, which is really nice. I really like the card. And also, towards the end of the video, I will go over some side options and some tech options that you could incorporate into this deck. So if you want to stick around for that, go ahead for it. But anyway, let's get on with the deck profile. So starting off with the monsters, 2 Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. Really powerful card going first and going second. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is really good. When it's detached from an Xyz monster to activate its effects, you can special summon 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck. And then if it was activated during the battle phase, you can double the attack of all number monsters you control. So it's really good with Prime Photon Dragon, because then you can use Prime Photon Dragon's effect to gain, I believe, 1800 attack points and then double it, so then it can get up to 10,000. So that's really good for an OTK option, which before this deck didn't really have good going second cards, but Afterglow Dragon just gives this deck much more power. And also I do think it's just as good with Tachyon Dragon, because Tachyon Dragon says during the battle phase you can detach 1 material from this card, negate all other card effects on the field. And then because of Afterglow, it will double its attack to make it 6,000. And then if your opponent activates a card during the battle phase, it gains 1,000 and can attack again, which is really good. So there's a couple of options you have with this card. Then for the heart and soul of the deck, triple Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Really powerful card even to this day. Its effect is still really amazing. When it attacks, you can banish this and the opponent's monster that it battles, and then during the end of the battle phase, bring them back. And also you want to see this card in your hand as much as possible. You can bring this back with Galaxy Knight if you can control this and have Galaxy Expedition in your hand. You can use Galaxy Expedition to summon Galaxy Knight, Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, or Galaxy Soldier. You've got lots of options. You can easily search this card out with cards like Photon Vanisher as well, Galaxy Soldier. There's so much draw power that this deck has, it's so amazing. Then for your other Galaxy monsters, 2 Galaxy Knight. I was playing 3 Galaxy Knight before, but I feel like 2 Galaxy Knight is just a little bit better. I still do prefer 3 Galaxy Knight because you want to see it in your hand as much as possible, because if you control a Galaxy or Photon monster, you can normal summon this card without tributing, and then you can special summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your graveyard, which is really good because the majority of the time you do see Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard. And then if you have this in your hand, you can normal it, special summon Photon Dragon back, go into a rank 8, which is one of the most basic combos in this deck and one of the best plays you have. Now you can easily search this card out with Galaxy Soldier. You've got Photon Orbital as well, you've got Galaxy Expedition. So you've got a number of ways to search this out, which is why I cut it down to 2. So 2 Galaxy Knight, really powerful card. And also its effect, special summon Photon Dragon from the graveyard, only goes off if it's normal summoned, which is really annoying. But you do have Galaxy Expedition in your deck, so if you control a level 8 Galaxy or Photon monster, you can special summon this card from your deck. Even though the effect won't go off, it's still nice to have a level 8 monster to go into your rank 8s or your link monsters. Then triple Galaxy Soldier, broken card in this deck. This is better in this deck than in any other deck that this card would be played in, because you've got cards that can search this out, like Photon Orbital, Galaxy Expedition. You've got so many other cards as well. And when this card is summoned, you can add a Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, including itself and other Galaxy monsters. So Galaxy Knight, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, Galaxy Wizard. You've got so many other options with this card. You've also got Galaxy Expedition, which you can search this card out if you control another level 8 or higher Galaxy or Photon monster. Could be anything, doesn't matter. Special summon it and then use this effect to add another Galaxy Soldier from your deck to your hand, or something like Galaxy Knight, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Options are really all over the place with this card. So, triple Galaxy Soldier, really broken card in this deck. And then for your last few Galaxy monsters, 1 Galaxy Wizard and 2 Galaxy Brave. Galaxy Wizard I prefer 1 because it's mostly just an extender rather than an actual starter. It can be used as a starter, but at the same time you do want to use your normal summon on Galaxy Knight, so you can use this effect to bring Galaxy Photon Dragon back from the graveyard. You can also make this card level 8 as well, which is nice. You can contribute it to add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, which is good. Now, the majority of cards search out Galaxy cards. So you've got Galaxy Soldier, Galaxy Expedition, which searches out both of them, and also Galaxy Wizard. So the deck has a lot of search power for Galaxy monsters, but not a lot of draw power for Photon monsters. And I'll get to a card that I'm incorporating soon to try and help and act as a stand-in for Union Carrier to try and help the consistency. And then 2 Galaxy Brave. This is a really good extender because you can reveal a Photon monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, and then it becomes the level of that monster you reveal. So if you reveal Photon Dragon, it becomes level 8. If you reveal any of your other Photon monsters, it becomes level 4, which is really good. You've got options to go into rank 8 or rank 4s, which is really nice. You can target 1 Galaxy monster in your graveyard. This card's attack becomes that monster's attack. So it's a really good extender and I really like it. And that's it for the Galaxy monsters. For the Photon monsters, I am playing triple Photon Orbital. Mandatory to play at 3. It's one of the best searches we have in the deck at the moment. You can equip, during your main phase, you can equip this card from your hand or field to a Galaxy or Photon monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, add 1 Galaxy or Photon monster from your deck to your hand, which is really amazing. And the equipped monster gains 500 attack and can't be destroyed by battle. That effect doesn't come up a lot, but it's still really nice to have. And this card was easily searchable with Union Carrier, but because we lost Union Carrier, that's no longer accessible, which is why I had to incorporate a new card. Well, not new, it came out roughly around the same time that the Photon and Galaxy archetype was announced in the TCG, and I'll get to that soon. But triple Photon Orbital, absolutely mandatory to play off at 3. Then for your other Photons, triple Photon Vanisher, 2 Photon Thrasher, and 1 Photon Advancer. Thrasher and Vanisher are the ones you want to see in your opening hand the majority of the time. Thrasher is basically a level 4 Cyber Dragon. If you control no monsters, you spell summon it from your hand, which is really good. Can't be normal summoned, unfortunately. That's a huge drawback, so you don't want to open up with it too much, but 2 is just perfect. Photon Vanisher is a lot better because if you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, you can special summon it from your hand and then add a Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand. So it's really good for multiple reasons and for multiple situations. And then 1 Photon Advancer because it's another extender. If you control a Photon monster, you can special summon it from your hand, which is really good as an extender. And then for the last Photon monster, with that I incorporated to give the deck a bit more consistency, 2 Photon Lizard. Now, this card doesn't see a lot of play because it can be very lackluster sometimes and very gimmicky, but Photon Lizard actually helps this deck a lot because it works the same way as Galaxy Wizard, where you contribute it to add a Photon monster from your deck to your hand. A level 4 or lower a level 4 or lower Photon monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a really good extender and starter as well, because as I said, the deck doesn't have a lot of options for searching out Photon monsters. It's more akin to searching Galaxy monsters. But with Photon Lizard, it's a really good extender and starter because you can search out Photon Orbital as well, which is amazing. So this is the stand-in for Union Carrier to help the consistency of the deck. And I found it worked really well. If you want to play it at 1, I understand. But I think 2 is just absolutely perfect because it starts your plays off even more. You can normal summon this, search out Photon Thrasher, and then special summon Thrasher. And then if you have Vanisher in your hand, you can special summon Vanisher, which is really good. So it gives you some more options to work around with in the deck. So 2 Photon Lizard. And that's it for the monsters. I'm going to go into the spells now. For your spells, triple Photon Sanctuary. Really powerful starter because you activate this card and then you special summon 2 Photon tokens with 2000 attack. So you can use it for link summoning, you can use Photon Orbitals to target them, then get the search of a Photon Orbital, And then if you have Photon Vanisher in your hand, you can special summon it since you'll control Photon tokens. And these are Thunder for some reason. Now I'm not complaining, but if you want to possibly test this as a tech card in Thunder Dragons, you can, but be mindful that this locks you into light monsters for the rest of the turn. So in Thunder Dragons, probably not ideal, but if you want to test around with it, you can. But Photon Sanctuary is one of your best starters. Just special summoning 2 tokens is really good, and this is not a once per turn either, which is really good. For your other Galaxy cards, Triple Galaxy Expedition, one of the best cards in the deck. If you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, you can special summon 1 level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck in defense position, but this is a hard once per turn unfortunately. So it's really good for all kinds of situations. If you control Photon Dragon, you can special summon Galaxy Soldier from your deck, then use Galaxy Soldier to get the search off, and then special summon another Soldier. If you control Soldier, you can special summon Galaxy Knight from your deck, you can special summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck. The options are really unlimited, well, to an extent. One combo I do like is if you open up with this, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and Galaxy Soldier. You would use the effect of Galaxy Soldier to dump Photon Dragon, then use Galaxy Soldier's effect to search out Galaxy Knight, then use Galaxy Expedition to special summon another Galaxy Soldier from your deck. Since you control a level 5 or higher Galaxy monster, you can special summon another Galaxy Soldier from your deck, and then use Galaxy Knight's effect to normal summon it since you control a Galaxy monster, and then special summon Photon Dragon from your graveyard. So then you've got 1 Omni Negate if you go into Cyber Dragon Infinity, and 1 Monster Negate if you go into Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. So really broken card, Galaxy Expedition, one of the best cards we have in the deck at the moment. Then 1 Galaxy Trance and 1 Galaxy Zero. Galaxy Trance is an interesting card because it's a pseudo soul charge for the deck. You can pay 2,000 life points, which is a bit steep, I know. Then target 1 Photon monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and 1 Galaxy monster from your deck with the same level, both in defense position, but their effects are negated. And this has the effect where you cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this card, except Photon and Galaxy monsters. Now, the key word to remember there is during the turn, as opposed to for the rest of the turn. So if you summon something like Cyber Dragon Nova, you can't activate this card. If you activate this card, then you can't go into Cyber Dragon Nova, which can be really difficult in certain situations where you need to get more monsters on the field, either going first or going second. And Cyber Dragon Infinity, one of the most powerful cards in the deck at the moment. But Galaxy Trance as a one-off, I found it worked. And then 1 Galaxy Zero, sometimes you just want to use its effect to special summon a Galaxy or Photon monster from your graveyard without having that restriction, and Galaxy Zero lets you do that, which it's a nice Monster Reborn effect. You can search it off with, so you can search it with Galaxy Wizard, which is nice. And there is one way you can use this card with I forget its name, the Noble Knight Link monster. You probably know the one I'm talking about, the one that sends equip cards from the deck to the graveyard and this summons a warrior from your deck with the same level as the number of cards you send. So if you send this, because this is an equip card, and then special summon, I forget its name as well, it's an Infinite Noble monster, and then get this card back. So that's one tech option you could try. I don't play it personally because it would sort of interfere with the attributes of this deck, because it's very reliant on light monsters, which is why I don't play it. But if you want to, you can. But Galaxy Trance and Galaxy Zero, good one-offs and good extenders because they're Monster Reborns. Then for draw cards, 2 Trading, 1 Pot of Desires, and 1 Upstart Goblin. I play Trading because we have a lot of level 8s in this deck, and sometimes you want to see a few of them in your graveyard. 1 Pot of Desires, I was playing 2 before, but I cut it down to 1 because there are certain situations where you don't want to banish any of the important cards in your deck. We play a lot of multiples, so I wasn't too afraid of banishing too much, but at the same time I don't want to lose out on too many cards. But 1 Pot of Desires worked fine, and then 1 Upstart Goblin, because it's Upstart Goblin, just here for consistency and draw power. For the rest of the spells, 1 Reinforcement of the Army and 1 Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn because it's Monster Reborn. 1 Reinforcement of the Army to search out your warrior monsters like Photon, Vanisher, Thrasher, Advancer, all those, so that's good for consistency. And then for the only traps that I'm playing in the deck, I have 2 Tachyon Transmigration. This is a card that I don't see often enough in other people's Galaxy Eyes deck profiles, and I think they should really consider this a lot more because it's a non-once per turn Omni Negate if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, and also it has the potential to negate up to 3 things, even more, because you activate this during a chain link and then negate the entire chain if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster. And this is not a once per turn. This card is amazing because it effectively, if your opponent activates a chain link 3 or higher, you can chain this and that kills the entire chain. And then if any of those cards were on the field, they get shuffled back into the deck. And again, not a once per turn. It's not searchable, unfortunately, but the majority of the time that doesn't matter, because if you open up with multiples of this and you have a way of summoning, even if it's just 1 Galaxy Eyes monster, even if it's just a normal Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, you can end on a non-once per turn Omni Negate. So Tachyon Transmigration I think should be considered a lot more than it is at the moment. It is absolutely broken. And that's it for the main deck. I'm going to go into the extra deck now. For the extra deck, 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. This is a really powerful going first card because it's a monster negate, and also during the opponent's turn as a quick effect you can add 1 Galaxy or Photon card from your deck to your hand, which is really good. The most common board you can end on going first is Photon Lord with Cyber Dragon Infinity and Galaxy Eyes Soulflare Dragon. So Photon Lord will be your monster negate and searcher, so you can get a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and then you can use Soulflare's effect to discard a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or 1 Galaxy and 1 Photon card to destroy 1 special summon monster the opponent controls, and then Cyber Dragon Infinity is your Omni Negate, which is really good. Then 1 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. This is a really powerful going second card because, as I said earlier, this card and Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon can potentially OTK the opponent. You can detach 1 material from this card, and then this card gains 200 attack for the combined ranks of all Xyz monsters on the field, including itself. And then Afterglow will double that, and then you could potentially one-shot the opponent, which is really amazing. Then 1 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. This is another really good going second card, and I think is possibly better with Afterglow Dragon than Prime Photon Dragon, because Tachyon Dragon says during the battle phase you can detach 1 material from this card and then negate all other card effects on the field. And then because Afterglow Dragon was detached, you can special summon a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck and then double Tachyon Dragon's attack. So it becomes 6,000 attack, and all other card effects on the field have their effects negated, which is absolutely amazing. And then if your opponent activates a card effect during the battle phase, it gains 1,000 and can attack again, which is really amazing. I really love this card. And also, one thing to take note of with Prime Photon Dragon is if it doesn't have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as a material, any damage it inflicts to the opponent is halved. So you want to make sure you have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as a material as much as possible, which is another reason why I prefer Afterglow Dragon with Tachyon Dragon, because it doesn't have that restriction. It doesn't matter if it has Photon Dragon as a material or not, it's fairly generic. 1 Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, really powerful card. Again, another good going second card. You can go into this using a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster you control as a material. You can detach 1 material from this card, destroy 1 card the opponent controls, which is really good. The majority of the time you want to go into Cypher Dragon. and then this, detach one, and then pop a card the opponent controls, and then go into Cypher Blade Dragon to destroy another card the opponent controls. And then one Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, one Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon, and one Galaxy Eyes Cypher X Dragon. These are the Cypher monsters that I play. You go into Cypher Dragon first, as I said. You can use this effect to steal an opponent's monster, but be mindful that only Cypher Dragon can attack for the rest of the turn during the turn you activate its effect. But what you can do is steal an opponent's monster, and then because its name is treated as Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, you can then go into this, because this says you can also Exceed summon this card by using a Cypher Dragon monster you control as material. So since the stolen monster will treat itself as Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, you can then go into this, and then you can attach 2 materials from this card. Light monsters you control cannot be targeted by card effects until the end of the opponent's turn. Now, it should have been 1 Exceed material, because the majority of the time you'll most likely be going into this using Cypher Dragon's effect by stealing a monster. So the fact that you have to detach 2 can be a little annoying, but if you manage to go into this using the normal Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, you know, that's good. You've got some added protection for your monsters there. And then during the standby phase, you can target 1 rank 9 or lower Galaxy Exceed monster in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and then if you do, use this card to Exceed summon that monster. So it's good for recycling your monsters, and is another Galaxy Eyes name, and with 4,000 attack can put out just as much as damage as most Galaxy Eyes monsters. And then with Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon, again as I said, go into Cypher Dragon, go into full armor Photon Dragon, detach 1, destroy a card, go into Cypher Blade Dragon, detach 1, destroy another card, and then when this card is destroyed, you can target Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon in your graveyard, and then special summon it. So it's good going second, because as I said, this deck is better. It's better going first, this deck, because of the negates it can set up, but it can go second as well, but ideally you want to go first. Now, I am working on a Galaxy Cypher deck, which I'm not too fond on Galaxy Cyphers, or Cyphers as an archetype, because they're very gimmicky, they're very underpowered, but the build that I am setting up or practicing with does show a lot of potential, and hopefully I will have that to you as soon as possible, because I want Cyphers to succeed. I don't want them to be forgotten, and hopefully we will get new Cypher support in Animation Chronicle 2021. Bit of a stretch, because there are still some Cypher cards in the anime that we don't have yet, but I'm just hoping that we do get more Cypher support. Mostly main deck support, because the main deck Cypher monsters are seriously underpowered. And then one Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Because it counts as a Galaxy monster, you can go into this regardless of any restrictions like Galaxy Trance. It's a spell card negate as well, it's an attack redirector as well, which is really good. You got a Cyber Dragon package of Nova and Infinity. Use Galaxy Soldier, go into Nova, then use Nova, go into Infinity, got an Omni-Negate, which is really good. And then one Star League Photon Blast Dragon. Really good card. When it's on the field, your opponent can't target light monsters you control with 2,000 or more attack with card effects, also they can't be destroyed by card effects, which is really good. So they can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, which is really amazing. Doesn't apply to itself though, unfortunately, because its attack is 1800. But if you have Photon Orbital in your hand, you can attach it to this card, then it gains 500, and then it's protected itself. So that's really good. When it's special summoned, you can Exceed summoned. When it's Exceed summoned, you can special summon 1 Photon monster from your hand, which is good. So it's good for combo plays and setting up your board, but also during the opponent's turn. And this is a quick effect. You can detach 1 material from this card to target a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard, or that is banished, and then special summon it. So it's good for going into your next turn, so if you want to try and OTK the opponent, you can. Then 2 Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon. Another really good card. It requires 2 light monsters, 1 with 2,000 or more attack. When it's special summoned, you can target 1 Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, then add it to your hand, which is good. And then during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can discard one Photon and Galaxy card, or one Galaxy-sized Photon monster, sorry, Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, then destroy one special summon monster the opponent controls. So that's really good. And then what, you got your Nightmare package, Unicorn and Phoenix, just for getting rid of any problematic cards that your opponent would have. And that's it for the main and extra deck. I'm going to go on to some tech cards that you can play now, and some side options that you would consider playing. So, let's go on with the side options then. For side options, probably the most obvious card to play, Triple Gozen Match. This deck is not affected by Gozen Match at all because the entire deck and extra deck, except for the Nightmare monsters of course, is light. So if you're going up against a deck that is reliant on multiple attributes, you can use this, and then immediately you're ahead of them, which is amazing. And then for some extra deck monsters that I like to side is one Neo Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, one Sanapond the Sky Prison, and one Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller and Sanapond are good against decks that are very graveyard reliant, so things like Eldritch and other decks like that, they help a lot. And then, yep, Neo Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon is interesting. I side it because it's a little difficult to go into it because it requires 3 level 8 monsters, but if you manage to Exceed Summon it using Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, all other face-up cards currently on the field have their effects negated. And then once per turn you can detach one material from this card, detach all materials from monsters the opponent controls, then this card gains 500 attack for each. Also it can attack up to that number of monsters during the battle phase. That is pretty good. Now unfortunately, since it's not a number, Afterglow Dragon can't really buff it up more, but the effect to detach all Exceed materials from opponent's monsters and then gain 500 attack for each one and then attack that number of times is absolutely amazing. And this is 4,500. That's not something to be laughed at. Now, I side it because obviously it would take up some extra deck space, but if you're going up against a deck that is reliant on Exceed monsters, you can side this in, and then you can use it against the opponent, and then you can do some serious damage with that, which is absolutely amazing. And these are the only side options that I would play just at random, that I would play normally. If I was going to a tournament, I would probably side something else like Hand Traps, Imperm, Nibiru, stuff like that. The side options are really all up to you, depending on how you like to play and what you think you're going to go up against. If you know what your friends at your locals play, you can side for certain matchups, but these are the cards that I side the most. Gozen Match in particular, because that card in this deck is absolutely broken. That's it for the side options. I don't really play a lot of side options, at least at the moment, because obviously there are no Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments going around at the moment because of coronavirus, but those are just some options that you can play. Other things like other hand traps you can obviously play as well. And then for some tech options that you can consider, 1 Tachyon Chaos Hole, and then 2 Tachyon Spiral Galaxy. I'm sorting these by the ratios I would play them at, by the way. Now, Tachyon Chaos Hole is broken. When a face-up Galaxy Exceeds monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster or by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, destroy as many face-up cards the opponent controls as possible, and if you do, banish them. That's actually pretty good. And then during the draw phase, if this card is in your graveyard, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can banish this card from the graveyard, target 1 Galaxy Exceeds monster in your graveyard, and then special summon it. So it's a really powerful card and can really help come back in certain situations. The reason I don't main it is because it can be a little sticky sometimes. I prefer Transmigration because it's just a non-renegade and you're not really relying on, so you don't really hope that your opponent destroys your galaxy monsters, and also it's not searchable. Now I know Tachyon Transmigration isn't searchable, but Tachyon Transmigration does a lot more. And then Tachyon Spiral Galaxy, this is searchable with Photon Lord, and you can target one Galaxy Xyz monster that you control. Until the end of this turn, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, it is unaffected by other card effects except its own. And also, if you control a Tachyon Dragon monster, you can activate this card from your hand, which is really good. So that's an option you can play if you are scared of some of your opponent's monsters and card effects. You can cite this if you want, and then your monsters become unaffected. So it's just one Dragon Galaxy monster, which is annoying, but it's still really powerful either way. And then some of your other tech cards that you could play is triple Photon Veil and one Accel Light. Now Accel Light is probably, I'd say it's well known in the Galaxy Eyes players, because if you control no monsters, you can spell summon level 4 or lower Photon Galaxy monster from your deck, but you cannot normal summon during the turn you activate this card. Now it's a decent card. I don't play it because I think it's kind of slow, but if you want to play it as one, you can. And then Photon Veil, this is an interesting card because you can shuffle 3 light monsters from your hand into the deck, then add 1 to 3 level 4 or lower light monsters from your deck to your hand. So that's good. It can help refresh your hand if it's a bit clunky. The annoying thing is, if you add 2 or more monsters, they have to have the same name. So this is probably better in a Galaxy Cypher build, because you can shuffle 3 light monsters from your hand into the deck and then search out 3 Cypher Wing. Normal the first Cypher Wing, special summon the other 2, and then use one of the other Cypher Wing's effects to double their levels and then go into a rank 8. So that's just an option you have there, but you know, not the best card, but it's definitely an option that you could play if you wanted to. And then for one card that I think has seen less play than Photon Lizard is Twin Photon Lizard. Now, this is a relatively new tech to me. My thought process behind this card is, if I'm going up against a deck that relies on changing monsters to defense position or stopping them just full stop but leaving them on the field, I can then hopefully use something like Polymerization or Flash Fusion to go into this. And because this requires 2 Photon monsters, you can use whatever you want for the most part anyway. Tribute this card, special summon the monsters from your graveyard that were used for this card as fusion material. So it's an interesting card, and in theory can be used in certain situations, but again, I need to test this card out a lot more because it's a relatively new tech to me. But if you want to consider it with something like Future Fusion, Flash Fusion, Polymerization, or Fusion Recycling Plant, you can, but for now I still need to test out more for this card. And then for some of the Cypher cards that you can play in this deck, 1 Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon, triple Cypher Etrangler, and 1 Rank Up Magic Cypher Ascension. Cypher Etrangler is possibly the only Cypher monster that I would consider maining just out of, just on a whim really, because you can target 1 Cypher Xyz monster you control and attach it from your hand or graveyard to it as material. And then when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Cypher spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So you can search out Cypher Ascension, and then if you have something like Cypher Dragon on the field, you can use it and then go into Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon. And Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon is pretty good actually, because you can steal up to 3 monsters the opponent controls, and then they become Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon, and their attack becomes 4,500. But Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon can only attack directly for that turn. So it's a lot better than the normal Cypher Dragon, because only Cypher Dragon can attack the turn you activate its effect. But all those monsters can attack, and because they have 4,500, they're going to be getting over most things. But Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon can attack directly, which is absolutely amazing. So And that's it for the Cypher engine. And again, I have a Cypher deck profile on the way, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it will be done soon. And then for the last two tech cards that you could consider playing, you have Numeron Dragon and Draglubion. A good going second option, you go into Draglubion, then use this effect to summon Numeron Dragon, and then Numeron Dragon's effect will go off to gain 1,000 attack for each the combined ranks of all monsters on the field. So the majority of the time it will go up to 9,000, which is really good for going second. So, and that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry if this video was very long, but I really love Galaxy Eyes, so I want to put in as much effort to Galaxy Eyes deck profiles as possible. They're my favourite deck. I really want to see it contend as much as possible, and I really do think that given the right support, they could do so much in the current format and just obliterate the meta. Now, do I think this is a high tier deck profile? Sorry, deck? No, I don't, but it does have a lot of potential as a rogue option or as another powerful competitive deck. So that's it for the deck profile and for the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more Galaxy Eyes videos, let me know. Let me know what you thought of the deck profile and where you think I can improve. And as always, I'll talk to you all in the next video. Take care.